If you watched the 2026 Masters of the Universe trailer and noticed one missing face, you're not alone. Yeah, I'm talking about the adorable comic relief wizard since the 80s, Orko, who has been part of the He-Man universe since the 80s. See, I'm not complaining or anything, but I think I'm just as surprised as the other fans about this missing piece of the puzzle. The Masters of the Universe trailer makes it quite clear that the upcoming live-action film will delve into the depths of He-Man mythology, and I understand that there are some major changes along the way. It's just that alongside some of the key allies and biggest villains, I really expected to see Orko in the trailer. And I want the He-Man fans to assemble here as I try to deduce the reason behind the absence. In this video, I'll run through the wildest theories about the fate of Orko, and by the end of it, you'll know whether Orko is cut, hidden, or secretly being saved for a big comeback. Who is Orko? For those who are not exactly familiar with Orko, this was created specifically by Filmation to provide some comic relief in the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe animated series. The original 1980s toy line did not introduce this character, but I think it was one of the smartest decisions to get a character like Orko on board. He's basically a Trollin, which is a race of beings from the extra-dimensional world of Trollia. Orko appears as a diminutive blue humanoid, and he is capable of floating mid-air, and his face is completely hidden beneath a robe, hat, and scarf. All you see are his hands, ears, and eyes, and that is a part of Trollin custom to keep the face hidden. What makes him such an effective comic relief is the fact that the rules of Trolla are very different from those on Eternia, and this means that his magic spells usually backfire or malfunction when he uses them here. As He-Man's ally in adventures, he often tries to be of help, and it turns out very differently from his intentions. That being said, the 2002 series shows him as a more competent magician, and it's indicated that he lost a hand when he arrived in Eternia, and this enhanced his ability. Do you remember the 1987 live-action He-Man film starring Dolph Lundgren? Well, Orko was not part of this film, but he did have a substitute. You see, back then, the design of Orko was too complicated to execute, but the film still needed a comic relief, and a new character named Gwildor was introduced into the lore to play the part, and the role was played by Billy Barty. As of now, the technological challenges or budgetary constraints are surely not the issue for the upcoming movie, and skipping Orko entirely might not have been the best move. You see, Orko is not just a random sidekick, but one of the most popular characters from the 1980s Masters of the Universe toy line, which still remains one of Mattel's top-selling figures after He-Man and Battle Cat. This is the heartwarming comic relief in the Filmation cartoon that humanized Eternia for kids. And for me, this has been a symbol of the whimsical and magical side of the franchise. Such was the popularity of Orko that aside from merchandise, the character also fueled crossovers into modern media like Revelation. Can you really blame the fans for being disappointed now that the iconic retro charm is missing with the absence of Orko in the trailer? The biggest question: will Orko be in the new Masters of the Universe movie? I don't know about you, but I really expected Orko to feature in the trailer because of the sheer impact that the characters had over the years. So naturally, we have all been left disappointed, slightly agitated even, and maybe the sore point could have been entirely avoided in this otherwise grand venture. But the trailer is not the entire film, and there might be a surprise in store for the fans in the final product. So, what is it, and what are the chances of Orko appearing in the movie? Well, my source here is He-Mania.com, and they've provided some insights into what might happen regarding them. I think all you He-Man fans will know He-Mania.com is a very credible source, and this popular website always gives legit info about the content. According to their sources, Orko does in fact appear in the new movie, and while it's a great moment, it doesn't last very long. I mean, do I breathe a sigh of relief with this news? Well, not really, because it seems more like a token appearance or maybe a teaser into the future. There is always a chance that Orko will be introduced in the post-credit scene to provide some clues into the future course of action. At least I'm happy that he features in the movie in some form, which is better than missing from action completely, isn't it?
He-Man! Boy, it's sure good to see you!
You too, little buddy.
why Orko might be missing, or is the wizard being held back? It's always fun when the movies hold back some twists to be unleashed upon release, and Orko might well be one of those. However, if the reports are to be believed, then the appearance of Orko is not exactly an extensive one in the movie. Maybe he's not shown in the trailer to trigger all this discussion. I can understand that Orko is going to be a VFX heavy character, and that is definitely not easy on the budget. And if Gollum took years to be developed for the 80s movie, Orko will also be a nightmare for the creators. The memories of the Sonic redesign drama are still fresh, but I also wonder why the creators cannot perfect Orko if they can nail Beastman. Also, I don't rule out the possibility that the creators might be holding the wizard back for a sequel. It seems like Orko will not be a major character in He-Man's fight against Skeletor, but cutting him out altogether is still unlikely, especially when the movie is promoted as a faithful adaptation of He-Man's world. This brings me back to my earlier theory that Orko might feature in the post-credits scene or a short cameo, and there might be plans for a potential sequel where we'll get to see Orko in all his wizardly glory and comedic timing. All that said and done, one thing is very clear from the reaction of the fans. Orko holds a very special place in their hearts, and the goofy, kid-friendly heart of the original series is irreplaceable. If he's actually removed entirely, it might signify a darker turn of events, and maybe the creators are seeking to adapt to a more serious tone. This would also mean that while the creators are keen on making this a faithful adaptation, they're also guarded about recreating everything that is funny and goofy about the 80s cartoon classic for the modern audience. We'll have to wait and watch to find out how this all turns out, and I really hope for the sake of the franchise that the golden lore is handled with care. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the upcoming Masters of the Universe movie, and also share your views on Orko missing from the official trailer.